Are we?
Yes.
Live?
Now we are.
Welcome to Diamonds and Dice, the show where a bunch of friends get together and roll dice once a week.
Or at least we try to.
Currently over technical difficulties and things like that, but we're fine now. So thanks for joining us. If you're live, if you're watching us on YouTube, then you know what kind of shit we get into on a regular. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. Welcome back to the world of Roth. The decisions that brought us here are winning the lucky coin through some gambling that was so high stakes that life and limb could be taken. A mob of casino goers charged down the famous lucky coin at the Cast Dice Casino, but Edgar snaps his fingers and nabbed it using magic as the Godslayers fought off the entire crowd, as well as an attacking Githyanki armada of Ravagers. Haley, taking the helm of the Worldbreaker, meanwhile, fought off ships in ship-to-ship combat, while Mickey, Omega, Zolaria, Turth, Egida, and Jules gave the coin to Jazal and smashed all the pirates. With Jazal's coin returned, she divulged that it was her divine power, and players only wished for one, or had one wish, a wish that was granted by none other than Jin. Godslayers asked for the Phoenix to clear Zolaria and Haley's name, since, you did that resurrection without a Phoenix now. The gods were not very happy with that. Then after that, returning to Dathersport, they are now the proud owners of the Worldbreaker. They seem much has changed in their home sweet home. So as you guys make landfall, the portmaster comes out and says, "Godslayers, we've been waiting for you. It's been a month."
It's been a month.
They nod. You're just in time. Tomorrow's the first of the year, the day of light, the day of dawn.
Sucked.
You all must be very anxious to get back home. He starts whistling, and people go throw the ropes over, and they all look at Turth, all your crew. They all look at Turth.
Like, I want to go home.
So, docking, sir?
Yes, we're docking, and I'm going home.
They'll go ahead and they'll tie up the Worldbreaker. The dockmaster sends a runner immediately and says, please, you all must be very, very, very weary from your travels. And he offers an arm to Zolaria.
Sorry. She's just gonna kind of shake her head, and she's like, I don't need help. We just need to go home. She will, like, as everybody starts moving and stuff, she will hold Jules back to talk to him privately.
Okay. The guy offers you a water skin.
She'll take it and take a drink.
And then, just when you think he's going to offer it to Turth, he just sets it aside.
What the heck?
You stop, and Jules takes a look at you, and he's obviously agitated. He's got that larger fang grimace that he's usually got. You wanted to speak to me?
I have two things. One of them is a request, and you're not going to like it. No affection until I get things sorted out with Alazio.
Go attend to what you must. I've got some things to be doing right now anyway.
The other is a question. Are you going to make me choose between you and Alazio, or could the three of us make it work?
He says, if you think there's a choice, then it must not be as strong as I thought.
I would rather not choose between the two men who have made me the happiest in my life.
I guess mortals aren't capable of true love, where a person loves only one. Not the way I love you.
Love is not always just for one person. I love many people in many different ways.
He sits there and eyes you one way, then the other. You do realize right now I'm an incubus, right? He looks over at a group of girls and he just winks and like one of them actually faints. And he says, "Two can play at this game, Solaire. Be careful where you tread.
Okay.
Take care of what you must." And then he takes his necklace off. It's just like the pendant he became. He hands it to you and he says, "When you need me, let me know."
She'll take and she'll put it on.
And he says, "No tricks. Only has the ability to let me know when you need me." Okay?
Okay.
Zach is the DM. Okay, now roll a wisdom save.
And he turns and walks off and looks very somber.
As Ilaria feels very bad, but she's gonna catch up with the rest of everybody else.
The dockmaster is following you guys, and he says, "I know that you're weary, and I know that you're tired." And a runner comes up, and he reads a note, and he says, "I am, of course, exactly as I thought. Alazio needs to see you right away. He misses you so much."
I know. Okay. We need to go home and take care of a very important matter, and
But-
then we'll receive visitors and deal with everybody else. But we have something very important that we need to deal with first. So we're gonna go home and deal with that, and
Come on.
then
I'm under strict orders. Okay.
well, you could just come with us, just not into the house. But we have things that we have to deal with.
Okay, sure. Mickey looks at you guys and he goes, "Fuck it, I'm going to the Toothless Gator." And then Omega sits there and says, "It's nice being with you guys, but I'm gonna go check some contracts in town and make some money, okay?"
Okay.
They'll turn. They'll leave. So, the world's yours. Well doing.
Sure, our shit's still there, and the stupid
Frog
Breaker Witch
Behemoth.
coven didn't fuck with our shit.
Yeah, we're
And
going home.
Frog Behemoth is okay.
Going
gotta
home.
We gotta figure out how to use the Phoenix Stone.
Yeah.
That's #1 priority right now.
So, as you guys go on home, all of your passive perceptions, you guys will notice that the constables are definitely no longer buffoons. They're definitely better armed. Each one of them has a pistol at their side, as well as a saber. The dress of them is slightly different, a little bit more formal. So, you guys just pass a couple of that. The other thing that you notice is the Legion troops are marching in pretty much full force, groups of 15 throughout the streets.
And
Was that
that's
on mute?
no, you're good. Them marching at full force is not normal, right?
No, you guys never have Legion troops here in town. You have you had Landless's Legionnaires, but they barely ever made a stink. They walked maybe 3 deep. You guys have groups of 15 going by on a regular basis and regular intervals. So,
We need to hurry home and get this Phoenix Stone stuff sorted out.
okay. When you guys get home, you guys see Big Sally will come out and she touches the hat to look a little bit more formal. Her suit transforms like you guys paid for that item for. She looks at you all and she goes, "Godslayers!" and she raises her hands and she runs over to give you all a hug.
Zalaria will hug her and be like, "How have things been?"
"Oh, they've been interesting. Who's your new friend?" She looks at Haley.
Let's explain this inside.
She says, "Where's Haley?"
Let's just go inside. It's okay. Just let's go inside. And she's got like Zaleria is so small compared to Big Sally, but she's like almost pushing her inside the house.
She goes, and all the little gnomes are sitting there, and you all hear a united "Tirth" as all the gnome girls are running on over and looking at you. Oh, you must be wary. Oh, I think you need a water skin. Oh, would you like some wine? One of them says, "You're getting sunburnt out in here. Let me oil you up." And she starts putting suntan oil on her hands.
Sunburnt in the world that doesn't have a sun.
Right.
As I walk past Big Sally, I'll clasp her hand and I'll say, "It's a pleasure to meet you."
She sits there and looks at you Dragonborn, like you up and down, and she goes, "You have quite a warrior's handshake."
Well, thank you.
And she, you notice that she's somewhere in a 16 strength for not an adventurer. It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
And as she sits there clasping you, she looks and she says, "And my name is Big Sally."
My name is Egida.
Egida, am I pronouncing it right?
Yes.
She says, "Are you part of the Godslayers now?"
They have welcomed me into their little merry troop, and my masters have assigned it to me as part of my holy pilgrimage. So I suppose I am.
Holy.
Yes.
She looks left and right, and her eyes immediately go panicked. She goes, "Which god?"
The dragon god Bahamut.
Then she'll like instinctively cover her face, and then she'll go, "I don't know where you're from, but it's definitely going to be mentioned in a hushed tone here. Please."
If you say so.
Only, look, she says, "I understand. I have no problem with other gods. I think it's wonderful. I've heard a little bit about this god before, but it was one of my old masters was very learned, and he let me read through his books. It's part of why I can read and write. But just be careful where you say those names." And you see there's a group of troops go by, and she immediately looks surprised. But it's good that the Godslayers have somebody strong at their side. Without Marzio around, it's, they almost needed somebody to come on in and help bolster the ranks.
Who's Marzio?
Some of the gnome girls will, "Marzio, ah!" And then they faint and the other one grabs them. She goes, "Oh, he's the vice governor right now. He was a dashing adventurer and quite handsome man."
If you say so.
Thank you. She says he was sharp of sword, sharp of wit, and just as painful to the eyes, with beauty.
You might end up meeting him later when we go talk to Alazio.
I look forward to it.
So you guys go inside your mansion.
We gotta tell Big Sal what's going on.
You fill her in.
Yeah.
Yeah, fill her in about.
I'll go up to her and give her a big hug and be like, "It's me, Haley. Something
Sure.
happened while we were on our mission, and I fell, and Zaleria, in a panic state, reincarnated.
I don't understand. You mean to say you came back from death itself?
Yeah. I guess, yeah. That's what happened. It's almost like I'm saying it almost like I'm coming to terms that, yeah, I died. It happened.
She looks incredibly confused. Well, all's well that ends well. I like you. You're taller.
Other things, but
And I love the hair color. I love the new nose. I think you're prettier now.
Thank you.
I mean, not like you weren't pretty before. I'm just.
It's okay. I get you. Thank you.
She says, "Where's Mickey? I have some bad news for him."
Mickey decided he needed to go to the bar.
No, Mickey. No, Mickey did. Never mind. He's at the bar.
He's on a bender.
Master Mickey will probably be on another bender once he finds out.
What happened to the frog Hemus?
The Legionnaires came by and stated that it was a vicious animal. It was getting kind of hungry, and the girls were having trouble feeding him. He got out and ate a donkey. They slain him. They couldn't even bother to clean up the corpse. It's actually still outside.
Oh,
It's so large now.
it's
I
what?
It's just so large now, and we can't move it.
You guys
Okay,
could have like cut it into pieces.
I'll take care of it.
Could have used the leather.
First not
She says, "Thank you, Turth," and she looks at Haley a little strange at that comment.
I'll go help Turth. Super confused.
I go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, when you guys go out back, Agata looks over and sees a giant frog hemoth, one of the three-eyed, three-story tall beasts that with the tentacles. You know what they look like, and it has tons of elven arrows in it and spear thrust into it, so magic damage. It's also incredibly rotted. Looks like this thing was killed maybe
Days
2-3 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago. Jesus Christ.
They let it sit there for 3 weeks.
Okay,
We
so
paid them a lot of money.
Maybe I'm weird for thinking this way, but I kind of want to cut it up as much as I can to kind of make like a manure type thing, like to mix it in with the soil and make a garden essentially.
Well, we have
With
the
the soil.
greenhouse on top of the warehouse, so we could just use it as fertilizer for the plants as Illyria's growing there.
Fertilizer, that's what I was looking for.
Turth, what's your alignment?
He's a chaotic good. He wanted to be good. He wanted to make a fertilizer to make.
No, I think that's much more of a neutral thing to do.
Well, after the whole
But that's definitely true neutral right there.
I mean, it's
100%.
an animal, and it's a pack animal. I mean, it's
He's
it's
also
not.
thinking it's already dead. So how can I use what I'm given
yeah.
to make something else better? How is that not?
No. That's what I'm saying. It's a neutral thing to do. I never said it was evil, but it's also not good, because a good thing to do would be to like give it a proper burial or something. But it's neutral to cut it up and recycle it into the earth, and not letting it go to waste.
Me, I was just going from like a
I mean, I don't want this to turn into an argument about alignment, because those are always arbitrary and pointless to begin with.
no. I was just saying mine was like more of my background, like because I lived on my own for so long, and I know that it would be good nutrients for the ground, is what I was going with.
As a survivalist.
So what do you guys do with it? It looks like you have
That-
Yeah, I'm still gonna cut it up and make it fertilizer.
the gnome girls come out, see you in the middle of it. They're just like you, and they turn around. So that said, nothing doesn't look like it's been changed too much. Everything's been kept in order by Big Sal and the girls. The gnomes are incredibly heavy. You're about scrubbing everything. Some of the plants in the greenhouse have died. They weren't hard to get, though.
And that happens. Zaleria knows that.
But everything seems to be in working order other than that in your house.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, that's where you guys stand at your warehouse.
Cool.
So we're just kind of there. We need to figure out the stone.
Yeah.
Could I do like a history check or like an arcana check to see if I can figure out how I'm going to be able to not be wanted anymore, you know?
Yeah, you can make me both checks if you wish.
Zaleria's gonna help.
Okay.
Do I have to roll if I'm helping? Or does
No,
she?
I'll
Okay.
just roll advantage.
She rolls with advantage.
Okay. 23. Just
So
like
a 23 for the which one was that? Arcana or religion?
that was for history. I said arcana or history.
Historically speaking, the Phoenix Stone placed on your chest as you resurrect somebody is what pays the debt to Lucentarius, allowing you to resurrect without any repercussions.
Okay.
You do recall there's a story of some people who resurrected for the stone, and it is said that that priests of Lucentarius are needed to basically retroactively use the stone for the resurrection.
Joy. So we need to find a priest. Sorry. That's
It's not. No.
maybe we can find somebody at the governor's place. Let's go to Blasio. You have a lot of explaining.
Yeah.
What y'all doing now?
I'm putting the Phoenix Stone in like a secret pocket in my pants so that only I know about it.
Sure, make me a sleight of hand check.
Side note, on the return trip from the astral plane, did we get a long rest?
Yes.
Okay. That was a 19.
19 sleight of hand.
Yes.
What, you don't want some cut purse going through and stealing it from you?
No.
I mean, you are in Dathersport.
I know where I'm at. I don't
Okay.
trust anybody. I'm
So, yeah.
surprised we kept it safe for as long as we had it.
So now what are you doing?
Off to see Alazia. Fuck.
Off to see Elazio, you say?
Yep.
Nobody else has anything else better.
Great. So, runner, or not the runner, the dock master that is, that's come with you. He stands up in your common room and is like, "Are you ready?"
I guess.
Has
Please,
he just
please.
been waiting there? He was there with us?
Yep. He was waiting in your common area.
I mean, that's what I told him to do because he wasn't really gonna leave us alone.
He's all excited and he says, "I've taken the liberty of asking for a carriage to be brought. Is that okay?"
Sure, we're kind of used to doing this all by ourselves, you know?
So, because I got it just for you.
The
For me?
carriage is fine.
Thank you. And he looks at Haley and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. It's one carriage. She's to take the carriage. You can walk, though."
Why? my god.
I could order another carriage if you want, and you can all share it.
Like flip him off and just walk out the door and be like, "I'll meet you there." And do a carriage ride and have fun explaining everything. I'm gonna go find.
Oh shit! Thanks for resurrecting me. By the way, good luck telling
No,
your
I'm
fiance
like, I'm
you
gonna go
found
find a
out.
fucking priest.
My horses are still alive, correct?
You checked? Yeah, absolutely. They've been
Okay.
fed well.
I mean, no, an exuberant amount of gold per month. They
Absolutely.
have the money there.
Yeah, no, the
So
horse,
there's no
the
reason
horse-
they shouldn't have taken care of shit.
no, like I said, the horses are taken care of well. The house is dusted recently. Like, you guys are well taken care of for the money. The only thing is the Froghemoth.
Haley's frustrated about the Froghemoth because she knows that we pay them a lot of money, and
So,
she's not used to having so much money. So forking out that much money is very.
So, Tirtha is, while Zaleria is going on her carriage ride, Tirtha is going to pull out the horses and kind of hook the wagon up to both the horses. And we'll
Okay.
have our own little carriage to get there.
the horses. Thank you. The horses seem very happy to see you. It's been a while.
Oh, yeah. And, I do the typical walk up, pet them, make sure they know that I still care.
They're looking for the apples you usually give them. Like, it's kind of like one of
Like I pull them out of a barrel that's probably near the stables and just give them some apples.
they get excited and
And,
they eat
and like
that.
I take a brush and brush them down down their neck and all that as I'm getting the wagon attached to them.
So you go. The girls will help attach the wagon. Big Sally specifically will help because it's easier than the gnomes. So she goes through and she helps you attach it all, and she sees when you're brushing them, and one of the girls runs over to do it, and she just stops him and says, "Just he needs to do this. You did a good job." And they just watch you do it for a while, and they help you hitch it up. The horses have recently been shoed.
That's good.
Big Sally tells you that she asked Vorig for a very special horseshoe, and she'll get the horse to keel its foot up. And there's a small marking on the side. She says, in case we need to find you, you look in the dirt, and the special mark, and she'll point to a spot where the horseshoe's a little indifferent. And she says, it should be easier to find.
Okay. I tell her I appreciate that.
A lot has changed since you left in the month that you were gone.
Yeah.
I have maybe been a very bad butler. What do you call a female butler? A butler?
I think it's still a butler.
I have done you some wrong, and I am sorry. Tirth.
Go on.
I may have let someone stay in the house.
I raise my eyebrow like, who?
Big Sal. He's out of a job right now.
Job right now.
He's no longer head constable, no.
Huh.
But nothing's been going on. She turns a little red and she says, let him sleep in your room. You're about as tall as he is, and I clean the sheets daily. Not like they would be dirty, for any reason. And she turns flush again.
I look at her. I'm like, it's okay that you want to help a friend. I understand.
You can take it out of my pay. I totally understand. In fact, I anticipated that telling him he could come.
No need.
She nods and She says, as always, thank you.
So as they're having this conversation, I'm assuming they're still getting the wagon on the horses and all that. So,
Absolutely.
like I say, you got to help people that need help. I get it. Big Sal's a good person to have on our side right now.
I just couldn't turn him away. His eyes, his eyes look so sad.
Yes.
That I couldn't tell him no and turn him away.
It's okay. But we do got to we have a few places we got to get to, so we will be back and we can talk more about this when we get back.
She says, yes, sir. So, the carriage ride. Zolaria. A carriage is made to fit 6 people comfortably, and you're alone in it. There is apparently rare desserts from all across the world that has been placed inside this cart, and you take up little room, and the desserts take up the rest.
Oh my god. She's just gonna like stare at all of the desserts. Like she would recognize some of them. And then there's some she doesn't recognize, which kind of surprises her because she's traveled so much in her life. And the ones that she doesn't recognize, she actually more of tries. She doesn't really eat a lot, but she does try some of them.
The strangest one is the ones that have come from where Leon used to come from. I mean, he never told you the name of this place. But very strange and exotic food from all across for sure. I'm going to try them. Some are sweet, some are odd. All of them are wrapped in beautiful paper, like blue paper, which is an expensive dye. And as you take every single candy or treat, and take it off, it has a poem underneath it dedicated to you.
Oh my god.
When
You just had to cheat on this guy, didn't you?
hey, good guys finish last, right? You're not brought to the governor's mansion like you thought. Instead, you're brought to a new-looking building in some of the reclaimed territories in the Red Zone. It is a beautiful basalt-walled, many-pillared building. There is a statue out front of a tabaxi female in front of a bunch of children. Holding, all of them look to be sick, like they have wrappings on them, like they've been ill or had a broken arm. And she's dispersing medicine amongst them. The sign at the bottom says, First School of Medicine of the, Zolaria First School of Medicine.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Dathersport Division. And along it, there has been, people are putting out tons of white roses, whole flowers, not just petals, rose flowers, white petals leading up, and the sides of it are bright red, and the edges are a beautiful yellow. And like you can tell that they were like told, snap 2, here's the deal. And one figure that's walking towards you is wearing the traditional plague mask, hat, and everything else, until he sees you, and he'll take it off, and you see Elazio's face. My love, Elazio, is so happy to.
Oh my god. She's just she like got out of the carriage and she's just like staring at everything, and she's at a loss for words, and she's just like and she'll see him and she'll like hear him and everything, and she's gonna stare at him for a second and then start walking towards him and just be like, "You did all of this in a month?"
He says, "Yes, Alazio took." I have taken this power of governor and made sure to turn this world into what I think would be perfect for you and our children.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I lost connection there for a little while, so I only caught like your last sentence. Can you say that all again? Hold on. Hold on. I've lost sound. I'm sorry. What the fuck? Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, now I can hear you.
I got food in my mouth.
That's fine.
So he says, Alazio has done everything within a month with the power of governor that I've been given. I have done everything that I can to make this a better world for you and our children, our future children.
Oh my god.
He turns and he says, do you like the college? Right now, it's actually tending to quite a bit of hurt individuals and children. Your friend Call is working here now and getting a better education than she even had from Mother Ivory.
That is insane. Did you have Mother Ivory help you? Have you reached out to her at all?
She was a great help. She told me where to go, and I have brought people as far as the continents to come teach here. This is now a mecca of medical knowledge and learning and study.
This is amazing.
It rivals the elves themselves, to tell you the truth.
This is... She's just gonna hug him.
She just froze again.
No! Oh my god, why? Why? I just love when I completely lose internet. It's so freaking great.
So there's two different kinds of constables.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to... Okay.
They're dressed similarly enough to where you can almost tell that, but they're running in groups. You know, they're running in partner groups.
Yeah.
The other people are definitely running in partner groups as well, but they look to outrank the other ones, as they will demand things occasionally of other ones, and they'll say like, "Yes, sir," and move on.
Okay.
Sorry you logged out, Mandy, for a second. Alazio's blew up and he died. Sorry, Elmer.
Egida is thoroughly impressed with the college as well.
Oh my god.
It's
I did say before I froze and lost internet, Valeria's just gonna hug Alazio. It's very tight. Like, she really doesn't know how to express how grateful she is for him doing that, and like how amazed she is at him doing this, especially in just a month. Like, she's seen schools be opened, and usually it takes a couple years.
As you're hugging him, you notice that the statue has one piece that is not stone attached to it.
What?
Mm-hmm. The big stone statue of Zalaria, on her left hand, there is a small golden ring with a diamond attached to it. And as Alazio is hugging you, he says, "Do you see it? Has Alazio planned this well?"
Yes.
You said yes to Alazio.
Yes. Just yes. Maybe, but oh god. We probably should have talked before you asked that question and before I answered.
No, he says, he picks you up and kisses you. He says, "My sweet Alazio is happy. There is nothing else that needs to be discussed."
No, there really is. Something very odd, very strange happened while we were gone.
He stops and he looks at you.
Do you want to
And-
talk here, or would you like to go someplace private?
Oh, you hear a bell ringing in the background. And he says, "Oh, my sweet, I'm sorry. It's our curfew. We must go. I have to." He says, "Well, yes. To make Dathersport better, I have established a curfew, 8 o'clock sharp.
Oh.
Keeps the riffraff from running around. I, of course, follow it myself very wholeheartedly."
Well, of course. Where do you want to go then?
He sits there and smiles and he says, "Alazio thinks you know where he wants to go."
Well, then let's go.
God damn, Zalaria is a art. She's a playa. So as the carriage leaves with Alazio and her, the other guy's sitting there smiling and he's like crying a little bit. He looks at you. He looks at Egida. He looks at Haley and then he looks at Tirth. Isn't it beautiful?
Perhaps.
I love a happy ending.
Like, oh my god, if we fucking knew. This poor soul.
Amanda,
Man,
you're
that
really
was
quiet.
Now you're mute. Hope we can edit the stream later so they're not just listening to us being quiet. Okay, so yeah, as they go off and Egid is sitting there and the guy sits there and he's like kind of crying a little bit.
Hello? Still can't hear you if you're talking.
Amanda and Terry type for the rest of the episode. And now voiced by Zach will be Amanda and Terry. So while they're working on that, yeah, so you're just sitting there staring off at their thing leaving. You look over at the school, and the sheer construction of it looks pretty impeccable. It looks like there has been spared no expense. You know enough of the arcane. You know divine magic, but you know what magic's capable of is what I'm meaning.
I also know some arcane magic as well. I'm
And
part
I think
wizard.
you have a pretty
Yours
decent
now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm 8 levels of paladin, 2 levels of wizard. So yeah, I know arcane shit.
You can tell that that there has been quite a bit of magic used to shape the stones, etc.
Mhm.
It doesn't look like they brought in stone and then made pillars as much as they have stone shaped
Okay.
pillars. It's that's quite an expensive deal. You see students that look like they're very serious about their jobs, about learning how to heal.
Mhm.
You hear people talk about, well, since the Rook's plague, this was just my calling, and I know that I could make people healthy and save them, like Zalaria and Mother Ivory and all them did. You also see that it is a working school. They are actually helping people as
Well,
well.
if it wasn't curfew, I would be grabbing a book out of the library and taking a peek. But it's curfew, so I guess we gotta get the fuck out.
Tuck in, but it's
Yeah.
on your note. It's on your list.
I'm genuinely curious about, what the school has to offer, if there's anything I might be able to benefit from it. It certainly seems like an impressive facility.
Absolutely. So, Amanda and Terry,
You hear us?
Barely.
I can hear you.
Yeah, still really, really quiet.
Although, hold on. Let me see. Nope, I do have your guys' user volume all the way up, so I don't know what else to do.
And then I don't seem to hear Amanda there.
I mean,
Amanda, you're just gonna have to yell really loud so we can hear you in our houses.
Yeah, if Ryan can't hear you, you're not loud enough.
Well, it's just 10 after top of the hour. Let's go ahead and while Amanda's trying to figure that out, let me go ahead and take a quick smoke break and we'll pick back up. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, the cart goes off. Do we have Amanda and Terry now?
yep.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yay,
Yes, I
you're
can.
louder than earlier.
Yeah, I fucked with the settings a little bit more.
Yay.
I just hope it doesn't pick up sex.
I mean,
So they're sitting there looking at Egida and talking to him, and the guy looks over at you with tears in his eyes. It's so beautiful. Alazio's my mentor. He helped me beat Dockmaster.
When he says it's so beautiful, Tirth is just gonna be like, you don't even know.
I know it's better than I imagined.
You don't even know.
Haley's gonna turn to Turth and be like, "Did we elect the right person?"
oh,
Oh, Celeste,
Like,
so
this is just
happy.
me and Turth. It's like, did we elect the right person?
And Tirth is just gonna like kind of do as I'm doing is just kind of like stroke his little beard. Like,
So yeah, they're going to the governor's mansion. Where are you guys going?
I need to find a priest.
I'm gonna go and try to find a priest for this Phoenix Stone. So
Okay.
we don't keep getting attacked.
Now, out of character, would you allow me to make a religion check to try and do it, even though I am not a priest of Lucentarius?
Yeah,
Absolutely. If you're open, if you believe
I'm
Egida
gonna
is
say I'm gonna go find a priest, and Egida can speak up if you would like.
I might be able to do something if you would allow me to try.
Sure.
um
I hand them the Phoenix Stones.
if Egida is okay with the idea of a pantheon, I mean, obviously he's a worshiper of Bahamut, but
Yeah.
if he recognizes all the other gods, he may make
I
the
certainly recognize their existence. I just don't pledge allegiance to them necessarily.
right, but you do recognize them as gods and worship them with their fair due.
I don't worship them necessarily as much as I acknowledge their existence. I don't deny the fact that they exist, but I am still loyal to my god.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and make me a check and see what you can kind of decipher.
That will be a 21.
Yeah, with a 21, you know that that you have to appeal and make an actual prayer to Lucentarius that is heard for him to recognize the stone. It will be made with advantage because you have the Phoenix Stone present, and there's no harm in trying. It won't eliminate the stone if you fail in your prayer, if he doesn't hear your.
I don't think it's something I want to try here and now. I might want a second opinion, and I also want to get more information as to what this prayer actually entails.
Okay, it would be essentially it's a prayer that Lucentarius understands that there's a Phoenix Stone being spent, is the idea.
Well, no, I get that, but I mean, like, I want to get a second opinion. Like, maybe without Haley around, I'll find a priest and discuss it with him as a fellow religious scholar,
Okay.
and then bring that information back to Haley at a later date because it's curfew.
Okay.
Yeah, it's curfew. We gotta get home anyways. We can just at the manor. I'm sure we have all kinds of reading that we could look and do there. And
Turth is actually excited to get home so he can cook himself a meal, like an actual meal.
Okay.
Turth's just so excited to be home.
As you guys are heading home.
Very dramatic month.
Well, and it's like Turth. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like into Turth's backstory today because I wrote it and read it and wrote it and read it and wrote it and read it today. So, like, him having a home is like very significant to him.
Yeah, it is. You don't mind if I post that on Discord, do you?
Not at all.
Awesome. So, as you guys start to head home, you will be stopped occasionally by a couple of people that look like constables, but they're more decorated. If you guys would go ahead and make me a perception check. Landon, you're excluded from this. I'm sorry.
You said perception, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm mod 20.
And what did Haley get?
A 7.
Okay, Turth, you notice that these guys that are...
My passive investigation is 23. Wait, no. Let's just take my passive perception.
Nope, can't do that. This one's an active one.
Okay.
Okay, I'll end up doing that later with Bartholomew's backstory because I can't work my phone. What did you get?
I got it, Zach. I got a mod 20.
So you're taking a look at these guys, and you can tell that they're not used to being brushed off or shirked. Their loyalty has never been questioned, and also their demeanor, you can tell their authority has also not been questioned. They'll stop you and ask you where you're going, and you take a look at this guy, and you're like, this guy worked for the Shankhill Slaughterers before. You recognized him doing some wet work. But he looks at you and, Godslayers, what are you doing out this late? It's curfew.
We're heading home. We're just getting home. We're just getting into town. We just found out that there's a curfew. We apologize for being out. And like I said, we're trying to make haste home as fast as we can.
Absolutely. Sorry to trouble you a bit.
No, and like, you're doing your job. I appreciate that. And we're just sorry we're breaking the rules right now.
No, it's okay. Everything you've done for town, appreciate. I'll make sure the rest of the enforcers know so they don't give you any guff.
I appreciate that.
And he'll blow a small whistle. You don't hear an audible sound. And he'll move on. He says, have a good day.
You too.
So you guys go back home. It's nice and comfortable. The gnomes have taken everything into place. Your beds are made. All the cloth over the furniture to keep it from getting dusty has been removed, and everything seems to be in order.
Like I said, Tirth somewhere. Tirth wants to cook him a meal. Tirth wants to cook a meal for everybody. Like, that's what I'm excited to do. Like, if it's even just helping the gnomes in the kitchen or whatever, but I want to cook.
Okay, we can do that. Go ahead and make me an intelligence check. Or
Does Tirth have
performance.
a frilly apron that says "Kiss the Cook"? I'm just getting this mental image of this giant half-orc barbarian wearing a frilly apron in the kitchen.
It has to be
Like-
pink and yellow, though, right? Pink and
Yeah.
yellow.
Oh my god.
If he doesn't, he will now.
Yes.
Yes, the
You
the
said
colors
you
have to
wanted me to
clash
what
as much as possible.
What check?
It's
No.
either a performance check with intelligence as a modifier, or a straight intelligence check. You can gain inspiration for wearing the apron.
A performance check? What is this? Bartholomew Hibachi or
21.
something?
A
I got
21,
And you said with advantage?
Yeah.
like you ever need with your fucking dice.
No, 21.
A 21. You end up preparing a fine meal. It involves lots of quail. Looks like it's been something that they purchased a lot of. There's a lot of strange, like, basic ingredients that are missing. You have no eggs, for example. Flour is in limited supply. Anything that would be made to make food like last or stretch seems to be missing from your pantry altogether, or in very short supply. But the extravagant parts, like I said, quail. Not the quail eggs, but the quail would be there. There's lots of duck. There's lots of even pig in your guys' house stores right now.
Okay.
Vegetables are just fine. You have plenty of those and can make a fantastic meal. The girls all swoon, watch you cook.
Marzio to go get thing.
You know, Tirth will notice it, but he just kind of like would, I want to say shrug it off, but he doesn't want to egg him on, if that makes any sense. You know, he's not going to be like, oh, I see, so flattering. Oh, no, he's just going to continue doing what he's doing because. No,
Like-
that's exactly why.
Like
Because,
he's flattered, but he's not gonna acknowledge them at all.
exactly.
He doesn't give it to
Well, I mean, Tirth is interested in one woman and doesn't go whoring around.
I mean, I think I said it a little bit nicer,
I'm
Said,
sorry, but Elasio would be husband number 4. What makes you think?
yeah, once you're done with the first one, what does it matter? As you're sitting there and you make this wonderful meal, Big Sal will show up, and Big Sally will like kind of look at you real funny, like, "Is this okay?"
I think it looks fine.
He says, "Ugh,
We've always had a stand, here, whatever. I can't speak. But we have an understanding that you live comfortably. That's a very large amount of text.
he sits there and he's like, it's appreciated, and he sits down and tucks his napkin into his neck, and Big Sally will come by and like adjust it a little bit for him and pat him on the back. He sits there, and there's a statue. There's a statue of Marzio. He kind of turns and like does one of those double takes at it, and like looks at it, and he sort of scowls, but then sort of smiles, and then turns back and as the gnomes bring out the meal that you prepared. It's fantastic. It's with a 21, it's some of the best food you'll have. Everyone seems to get fat and happy, and you all sit in a communal table across from slaves that are no longer being slaves, these gnome girls. As you watch Big Sally tries to get Big Sal a little drunker than normal and seems to dote on him quite a bit, and every time she walks away, he can't stop but stare at her and smile with food on his face. The gnomes are sitting there constantly feeding Egida. Like, whenever you're done with your plate, they'll sit there and they'll fill it up again until you're full.
No, thank you.
But
I've had my fill.
But you emptied the last plate.
I've had what I needed.
Eat.
Thank you for your hospitality.
But you're so big and you finished your plate.
I do not need much.
But you finished it. So we refilled it for you.
And I'll reassure them. I'll reassure the gnomes that it's like he knows when he needs it is when enough is enough for him. But we appreciate what you're doing.
He's just so big.
Yeah. We
and
know.
They look like it's almost like they're staring at work of art. These gnomes are just like in awe of the physical prowess that your dragonborn lineage has given you. So they just sit there and just kind of stare.
I smile back at them humbly.
And the gnomes, as always, will be more than happy to take anybody's armor and clean it, and weaponry and sharpen it if anybody wishes.
Tirth would actually go join them with sharpening. Like, I want to sharpen my own weapons and all that too. Or okay. I would like to train them on how I sharpen my weapons. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go up to like Tirth's. No, he's not wearing any armor. Fuck.
Nope, I don't have.
I'll go up to Egida, and if he has any scuff marks on his armor, I'm just gonna go mending. There you go. You're
good. Thank you.
Well, I just shush. We don't need the tool.
Is the half dragon going to be staying with us? What room should we put him in?
We are actually. He is going.
Let's take a pick.
We have a couple extra rooms, and let him choose.
I'm sure you guys have done something very useful with Marzio's room.
We do.
You guys sleeping comfortably? Huh?
We do have.
What, Mandy?
We do have an extra. I know the 2 or 3. The medium rooms were never claimed as somebody's room because everybody wanted a small room. But I think we had at least one extra small room because Mickey was living in the barn and not in the house. So Mickey's room, even though it was Mickey's room, he never slept in it, so it was technically an empty small room. And I think if I remember right, I can't open Sims because it'll probably crash everything, but I think it was next to Haley's room. But
I am happy to accept whatever you can provide.
Well, we have plenty of space. Make yourself at home. We greatly appreciate everything that you've done for us. I'm gonna go to the library and see if I can't find any more information.
Are you going to your library here in the building, or are you going to a library that has more books?
I want to go through my library first, that's in my personal room and my office, to see if maybe I can find anything else of what this prayer might have to consist of.
I don't remember us ever discussing you spending money on books for a library. I know you have a library, but I would assume...
I would imagine that I had a decent amount of books at my office before. I explained in the very first part that I had a decent amount of bookshelves.
That's true.
With my desk and scrolls everywhere.
Right, those do
have our own library-ish with the hall, like the Hall of Justice.
The only thing is I will need you guys to spend money according to the resources you wish to spend.
No, I was just making sure. I was like, we did have a library in the Hall of Justice area as well.
Yeah, it's just like I said, nobody spent gold into it, so it can't be a viable resource. It has sparse
I got you.
with limited information. So you take a look through the various books that you have, and it's good information, but it's not deep like this needs to be.
Okay.
You wish to go to an actual library, though? Question mark?
We can't right now because
Not right
it's
now.
curfew.
Curfew, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
because we totally.
Like, bro, why do you want us to be out and about so bad during curfew?
Because it's bad.
I feel railroaded right now.
Nope. You do what you wish. Okay, so you guys get a good night's sleep, I take it.
Yeah, because we can't do shit else.
Okay.
yeah,
I want to send a message to Horde.
Okay.
See if no, there's not runners. Never mind.
you can write the message out and send. We can make it.
Just go over there in the morning.
So we can be out and about, right? Like out, like not out and about, but we can be out on our property.
Yes.
Like I can be out in the stables or the workshop or whatever.
Oh, yeah, you can be on your property.
So I don't know how everybody's gonna feel about me saying this, but I want to build a bed for Big Sal.
Do you have...
So he can have a place to stay.
I'm fine with that.
He can contribute here.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's jobless. We got a big property, and
He can be security.
he can get his hands dirty doing farm work, doing whatever.
He can be
He'll earn his stay.
I agree with your sentiment. However, given the circumstances, perhaps it would be more efficient if he slept in Big Sally's room.
Still have to make a bed for him.
I think that they were trying to keep that a little under wraps, even though they weren't really keeping it very good under wraps.
The gnomes could tell you stories.
So
Does anyone
So-
disagree?
I'll go with. I'll flat out say, yeah, Big Sal. Why don't you just say it's her room? I mean,
No, like as I originally said it, like perhaps he should stay in Big Sally's room. Like I'm looking at Big Sally out of the corner of my eye with a little grin.
She turns bright red.
and
And-
I mean, I'd look at Big Sally and I'd be like, so do you oppose any of this? Okay, I'll make a bigger frame for both of you. It's okay.
And she runs out of the room without saying a word.
Plus, don't want to do anything before whatever. Though it appears as though that they already have. They don't.
I would ask her, is like, would you feel comfortable if I made you guys a big enough bed frame?
Oh no, she left the room. She turned red, couldn't speak, and then just turned around and left.
Could I tell that she would have been okay with it, or
No,
just
she's just too embarrassed that she got.
She's
caught.
embarrassed.
okay?
Big Sal is actually really surprised as well, and he's like just kind of sitting there staring. And
I
he,
look
like,
at him. I'm like, are you okay with it?
blank look on his face, looks kind of down.
Maybe security.
Still use stuff around the farm. All right. So
I
Tarth will start. He's gonna start. He's not gonna finish it. He's gonna start building a bed frame, like getting the diagram to make the bed frame for them.
big enough for both Big Sal and Big
Yep.
Sally, being stronger and larger individuals.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Big Sal will be more than happy to, not today, but over the next, like, as you guys wake up and everything else, he will definitely be like, you go down to the stables and he's working the stables. He seems to take this new job very seriously.
Yeah, he
That's
got
good.
over the embarrassment, and now he's like, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just so you know. So, but what I'd like to roleplay as far as the morning's concerned is over at the governor's mansion the next day. As
We're
Zalaria,
skipping right over the business, I see.
as Zalaria wakes up and she sees that the room has been filled with flowers, with a little note that says "tending to my job." It says tending to my job, but open up the drapes and you will see what I think of you.
Where does he keep getting all of this stuff?
It's Marzio with whipped cream on his nipples. Oh, sorry, wrong room.
There is no God.
Is that a fucking White Claw?
No laws when it comes to claws.
Yeah. The LaCroix of booze. Good job.
Look, you've seen me drink. Do you have any question in your mind that I can't drink anything you put in front of me?
Just saying.
Yeah, you know better.
I mean,
So, as Zalaria wakes up, like I said, that's what you get. What do you do?
She'll like put the note down and she's just gonna be like, where did he get all of these flowers from? And she'll go over and she'll open the drapes.
When you open the drapes, you almost forgot. It's the day of dawn. The sun immediately hits your eyes, and it's so bright, and you feel that warmth of the sun, as the moon, the machine god moon, has actually been moved aside. People are having festivities and revelries all up one side of the street and down the other. Yes, the elves have the town on top of the town, that huge landmass that keeps you from direct sunlight. But in this dawn time, it can't cover, not even its shadow can keep you from looking and seeing the beauty of the sun. As you look out and you see that sheen and you look down, you see a bunch of people all sitting there, and they all hold up, people of Deathersport hold up a single flower, and people just start roaring as you open up.
Oh my god. She's just gonna stand there and stare at it like she's.
One of the people who's holding up a black flower, though, you look down, seems to be Jules. And then just when you blink a brief second, he's gone.
She's just like, okay. This isn't what I was expecting to wake up to.
All the people are cheering, and it's a beautiful sight. All colors that are going off with the sun. It's beautiful.
She's just gonna kind of stare for a little while because she's like not sure if she should say something, but it's a very nice sight to see. She's actually more interested in the sunlight at the moment, but you know.
Oh, and it is beautiful. Like I said, you guys don't see sun. What are you doing with your day?
She'll wait. Did her and Alazio have the talk last night, or not?
I figured you were having a different kind of talk last night.
Cool. She'll probably just hang around until he's got a moment so that they can actually talk.
He will eventually show up and say...
She's actually just going to go spend her day outside.
Okay. People are annoying in how they're trying to take care of you. The people who take care of the grounds, that take care of the governor, are constantly bombarding you with, would you like something to drink, alcoholic or not alcoholic? Drinks are, it's like, okay, fine, I'll take a water, and it has rose petals in it and things like that. Like, it's disturbing and how much is being done with this. Eventually Alazio does show up. He says, my love, Alazio has some time.
She's like, okay, we need to talk alone, completely alone.
He nods his head, and you see Alexander sitting there at the edge wearing similar to a constable's outfit, but like a long white trench coat with blue, essentially. So it's definitely different. It's in the same theme as like a constable's outfit. It's definitely edgier, different. And he sits there and he just nods and he'll go ahead and he'll leave the room. An imposing figure, and you can tell from what the man he was when you guys first saw him to now, he is definitely something different, more stern, careful, protective. And he will say, "Long way, sir," and he'll leave the room. Lazio says, "Ah, my love," and he grabs her hands.
Was that Nugget? Oh my god.
Yeah, Nugget. Come here, Nugget. So, as you're sitting there with him, we need to talk.
Yeah.
How many
You're-
people do you want at the wedding?
Uh,
All of Deathersport? Lazio can do that.
okay, we need to slow down for just a second. You remember, it's been a long time, but do you remember me telling you about Julius, my first husband?
He says, "Ow, that's not cool." Ow. He sits there and he looks at you, and Lazio remembers, yes.
Well, it turns out he wasn't actually human. He was a devil who has actually been alive this entire time. When we were gone, we found him. And he came back with us.
Um, he sits there and you look at the ring that you set on the table that he made you, or that he had for you. And he's like looking kind of at you and looking down. He says, "Does Lazio need to procure some demon slayers to protect you, my love?"
He has no intention of hurting me. The two of you have the same goal. You both want me happy. The only thing is I'm worried about the two of you possibly not getting along. And I don't even know if you want to try and get along with him.
Are you telling Lazio that you're still with him?
We are technically still married.
But last night, you mean to say that you want Lazio to share you, to love you, but not get the same kind of back?
That no, you'd still get the same love in return. Why does everybody think that you can't love more than one person?
You can, but if somebody doesn't, it's a different amount of love.
I love you both equally.
But I don't love anybody else but you.
I'm not asking you to love somebody else.
But you don't want me as your own.
I don't want to have to choose between two men who make me the happiest woman in the world.
I have changed a town for you.
I know.
Streets are safer. The gangs don't rule us anymore. I've built a school for you.
I know.
I've spent insane amounts of money to bring the same kind of warmth that you bring me to other people. I've done things to make this place safer that, and you just. I'm sorry, Zalaria.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you will be sorry.
No, Anazio, please.
He stands up. Goodbye, Slayer. And he leaves.
Wait, Alazio, please promise me one thing.
The door closes.
She'll leave. She's just not gonna say anything to anybody. She's going home.
As you do, you're bombarded with people who are handing you the flowers as you leave.
She's gonna turn into a bird and fly home.
You fly home. As you're flying overhead, you will notice that there is a group of people protesting far out of eyeshot of the mayor's mansion. And they're protesting. You see signs that say things along the lines of increased taxes, not fair. Things like that. You see that there are constables keeping them at bay. But you also notice that there are enforcers, better armed guards, that are ruthlessly, savagely beating these people for their protest. And when they get overwhelmed, to some degree, you can tell that it's more of a tactical retreat, more like we can take these people, but it's going to take too many resources. It seems like they're working in conjunction with the Legion, and the Legion is lethal, is savage. They form a phalanx, and they move in on the people, and those that give up are arrested, and those that aren't are put to death. You notice that on your way back home.
She'll like do a couple circles. Like, she's a hawk right now, so and she'll do a couple circles just to kind of see the whole situation, and then she's gonna go home.
Okay. The only other thing you see is on the of Dathersport, about 2 miles off from Dathersport in the woods, you notice that there is a distinctive and beautiful looking white wolf. Large in size, running with a pack of what looks to be regular wolves. It's just a strange thing as you swear it looks over and it seems like it's always looking at the town. An oddity, to be sure. But you return back home. The rest of you, Egida, you're used to seeing the sunlight. This place has been devoid of it until today. The people are reveling in the streets. They're screaming in excitement, and people are tanning everywhere and just sitting there just loving, and it's a big, huge festival. And for the first time, this bleak place looks beautiful again. You look up and you see that there was a terrible machine moon that has been moved away from the side.
I will go out and join the festival only to purchase a flower that I can bring back to the greenhouse and plant there.
There would be one thing that you'll notice is there is a fern and thistle.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they usually deal with cut flowers, but at this particular time they have planted flowers because it's a day of. And Jireg and Vidania are more than happy to sell you a flower. They say that theirs are bred to absorb twice as much light.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. And any other time of the year, you can purchase a flower. We put, we like to say we put memories in them. We enchant them to send messages.
Good to know.
And they smile and they'll give you that one. And then the Vidania looks at you and she nods to you in a very strange way. Kind of like a well done sort of way.
Okay.
So, what do you do?
I take the flower back to the warehouse and bring it up to the greenhouse and plant it and I guess say a few words commemorating the special day that it is. It may not be special for me, but it's special to everybody, and that is important. And this flower represents the importance of this special day.
As you plant it alongside of the other flowers in the greenhouse, you will notice that and you, Landon, know that this world's vegetation looks pretty sickly.
Mm-hmm.
But the plants that usually are created and grown during this time do look healthier. And it's a shining beacon amongst the other flowers that there is always. How about Bartholomew?
All right, so Turf knows that it's going to be that the sunrise is we're going to get sunlight the next day. So I'm actually going to get up before the sun hits, and I'm going to get the horses out, in the little field we got, all brushed up and everything. So when the sunrise comes, the sun hits, the horses get to enjoy it just as much as Turf does.
They do too. It's an important thing to make sure that the animals get the same kind of nutrients, because in a world without light, the vitamin D would kill most people. In this world, it is given magically this one time a year. So making sure your livestock, animals, and horses are doing good is super important. Even Delar seems to be reveling in the sunlight. So you do so, and seeing the dawn crest over is just a beautiful sight. Like, imagine never seeing a dawn. And today, this day of year, you get to see it. How about Haley?
Haley she wants to write a letter to Borg.
Okay.
I essentially want to make sure that he still has his stone.
Still has his what?
His Phoenix Stone.
Okay.
I want to make sure that the witch didn't take it from him. Even though I specifically said that it can't be from somebody that I know personally.
Uh-huh.
I just want to make sure that, he's still good.
Okay. You send the message?
I write a letter. I also warn him that the next time he sees me, he will not recognize me. That's not
Okay.
Alarm. And then I'll blow the little Gary whistle.
Yeah, Gary will show up.
And then I'll give it to him. I'll give him a couple of coin and his little pouch, and told him to, give this to Borg, and, obviously let Borg know that we're back. We're here.
He looks really excited to see you.
Give him big pets. I give him a nice bite of food.
Oh yeah, he loves it a whole bunch.
And then when I want to go outside, I'll bask in the sunlight and be like, this is different. Never felt sun in this body. And then I want to go to some sort of library. So I'll go to the old governor's house, or I guess I want to be a little bit closer. I want to look around and see if I don't have a bookshop or something.
Okay. There is a carnival in town. Big shocker. It's, a big day of sunlight. Why would a carnival not be there? You pass through it. You hear some people look amazed. You look inside the tent and you see that there's a bunch of people that don't look like they belong in the big top. There's a guy that's tightrope walking that looks like he's a mini Bartholomew. It's huge and kind of falters a little bit and grabs the edge. You see a person who looks like a set of twins standing there, and then it's just kind of an odd sight as you pass by. The bookstore, when you ring the door, you open the door and it's got the little bell that rings. There's an older man behind the counter. Somebody's come on day of dawn to read a book in the sun, I take it.
Hopefully. I'm looking to get a bit of information.
You take a look around and you notice this is a very, bookshelves line this place with, the ladders that go through and go up. It's kind of very similar to the Harry Potter shop.
Okay.
It's just chock full. Anywhere you can put a book would be a book, except there's maybe a handful of books here.
Oh, What happened to all of your books?
Well, I'm afraid that they've been confiscated. Something about schools needing books more than a bookshop, and libraries
Did they
can't
ever
just.
purchase them from you?
Well, they will send me gold, yes. I've been told some.
Will send you?
Yes, I don't have the yet, but they made sure my bills were paid until that time, and I actually have purchased the building now.
Okay,
I
so
doing good there, and they'll give me the gold, but I don't have many books, I'm afraid.
these are different. The last time I was here. What are some of the changes that have been put in place? Obviously, there's a curfew now. They're taking people's books.
Only books that would be useful for the military or the schools or involve Magitech, involve buds. There's a long list, and I'm afraid I don't have the memory to deal with all that. I'm but an old man. But they paid me for the books, yes.
How much do they owe you?
I think they're giving me somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 gold. Enough to buy my books twice over.
Okay, so you're at least making money.
I'm pretty sure, assuming I get this gold. Everything's good though,
Did
except
they
for
give
the.
you like a receipt contract?
Yes, I have it right here, and he pulls it up and shows it, and it has. They gave him a flat rate per book, but considering
Now,
some.
knowing your inventory is the flat rate matching.
Yes, the ones that were cheap were dirt cheap. Dirt cheap, in fact. Stories of the Godslayers are one of the most popular books. They sell pretty well, but they're not as expensive as my more selective selections. Those books can go for, 25 gold a piece. The spell books can be 50. But they paid me a good sum for all of them overall. I made quite a bit of money.
Assuming that you actually get your money.
It's weird not having it now, but it's the government there. The governor will be sure to pay me, I'm sure, just fine. He also gets first look at all the books that are coming into town as well. I know you froze, Amanda.
Can you not hear us? Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Okay. I just don't talk loud enough, apparently. No.
What?
I just have a rather confused look on my face, and I'm gonna be like, well, would you happen to have any books on religion? Or had those all been confiscated?
All those books on religion have been purchased already, yes.
Very much for all of the help that you can get, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that you get what you are.
Well, I thank you for your concern. You're quite an interesting and nice customer.
Here.
There we go.
I'm gonna walk away. They don't know it from the Gunslayers. It's cool. I'm gonna walk away. Thank you very much. Enjoy the day of light. Enjoy your day. Hopefully you
Is
get out
that
there
today?
too. It is today. Go enjoy the sun. What are you selling? They have all your books.
He grabs a book and he goes outside to enjoy the day of sun and read in the day of light, the day of dawn.
Okay, so then I'm gonna go back to the manor and explain that apparently they've decided to confiscate all of the books for sale.
I want to
to
say
the
at
places,
at this
uh,
point,
from other places, and yeah, go ahead.
at this point, all of the dresses that Alazio ever gave Zaleria are now in the hallway of her room. And she has changed into like a basic shirt, a basic pants, and she's in the greenhouse angrily gardening.
Shit, you going like full crazy bitch right now? You cut your bangs? You cut your bangs yet? Like,
Thanks. Save your man.
No, she still has her side guy, so she bangs.
So, I'm explaining that all of the books have been confiscated for other resources, like that school that was built, and
Are you talking to Zaleria or?
I'm just talking to everybody in the party that might be in the area at the moment. You might not be there.
I was gonna say because
If you're upstairs gardening.
I think Zaleria and Egida are up in the greenhouse, right?
I would say it's up to you, Landon.
How much of a ruckus did you make when you came home, Haley?
I mean, I came in the door and was like, some shit's not right, guys.
Like, did you
And
just yell
yeah,
at?
shit's not right. I just say shit's not right, and then I'm gonna go and sit down at the table, and well, there's Truth's outside.
Yeah.
Everybody else is outside.
Well, I probably would have seen.
I'll come in
Haley
and say
Price.
shit's not right. See that nobody's out here, and be like, well, my dumb ass is inside on the day of light, so I'm gonna go upstairs to the greenhouse.
As you go up to the greenhouse and Zaleria's angrily gardening, Zaleria comes across a single flower, a beautiful looking orchid that is just looks so beautiful. It looks like it was freshly planted, but you haven't been up here at all. As you look at that,
Sorry, go ahead.
as you look at that flower, you're just reminded of all the flowers that are being held up to you.
She's just gonna stare at it for a minute. And Egida is in the greenhouse, right?
Yeah, I retconned and said I went upstairs.
No, Egida, Landon.
I'm not in the greenhouse, but I'm on the roof.
Okay, she'll like slowly stand up, and she'll go over to the door and kind of lean on it and be like, "Have you been planting things?"
I planted a flower, yes.
Okay, the orchid, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll leave it there then, and she'll go on because if he hadn't planted it, she was gonna rip it out and destroy it. She'll go back to what she was doing.
Wait, you said to me that if it wasn't me, you would have ripped it out?
No.
Okay.
Like that was the other option. But yeah, she'll just be like, okay, good, and like she'll say that part to Egida, and she'll go back and she'll like, gently pat the dirt around it and just be like, you grow good, little flower, and move on. And she'll look at Haley when Haley comes up and she'll be like, oh, hope you had a better night than I did, or I guess morning.
I would have walked past the clothes, obviously, to get here, so I would have been like, cleaning out the closet? Did your talk not go so well, I take it?
I don't even know if you would consider it a talk. It's more of I told him the truth, and he just wasn't gonna give it a chance. So
Well, at least you were honest with him.
yeah, I was, and I don't care what he does to me, but I'm more worried about you guys, and I don't know what I would do if you guys got hurt because of me.
I am also concerned. I just want to go and find a book. If I can't find any other thing that might help us, and prayer, and all of the books have been common.
Yeah.
And the bookshop keep that I talked to said that he hasn't been paid for his books either. They paid for his rent and everything, but took his inventory.
I have a feeling that even though it seems like Lazio has done a lot of good, I don't think good things were done to get to this point. And she'll explain like the riot and everything that she saw on her way back home.
The things you're describing are indeed troubling, but I'm not sure it's our place to go about reorganizing an entire government.
We did it once before. How do you think Lazio got into power?
We're in this, the situation. We kind of influenced Lazio to run. And
Perhaps
he was
perhaps your former companion, this Marzio, am I saying that right? Perhaps he may be able to provide some further insight, since Alazio may no longer be an avenue of discussion.
At least
It
with
is
me.
possible. Yeah.
Well, I want to go look at the new school. That's probably where we'll find our Phoenix Stone answer. So maybe we should start there, and then maybe we should try and find Marzio.
I'm also interested in the school.
Then to the school it is. As you all get ready to set out and you see
What?
this beautiful day.
We'll
Go ahead.
go to Turth and be like, hey, we're gonna go check out that new school. You wanna come with?
Yeah, Turtle, he'll get with Big Sal, since he's gonna be in charge of the stables area. Be
Yeah.
like, just make sure the horses don't get out.
I'll
Let
try
them
my
run
best.
today. Let them run in the sun. They need it. And I'll go to the school with them.
I'll try. I've just never been much good with herd animals, but
Just
You
make
see-
sure the gates stay closed.
yeah. As you're saying that, like you notice that one of them's like going over and he's got a backpack that has apples, and the horse just like sneaks an apple. And then another one goes through and just sneaks the apple,
I
and
just
he's
kind
totally
of grin
oblivious.
as I see that happening. I'm like, just keep the gates closed. They'll be fine.
Got it under control.
Hold on. You guys head towards the school. Now is a good time for a smoke break. So, you guys are gonna go check out the school.
Okay, hold on, wait. Before we go, Zaluria's gonna go grab the dresses off the floor, and she's gonna find some of the gnomes, and she's gonna be like, do you guys know how to sew?
Of course we do.
She's gonna hold the dresses out and be like, make yourselves some new dresses.
She stares. She stares. 2 minutes go by. She's still staring. And then a single tear just wells up. And the rest of the girls all start squealing. And they rush your dresses. And they all take their favorite colors and trade. And they're being very good about it. And they will do so. And they will rush away to sew themselves dresses.
Good. Alright, let's go check out this school.
All right. So the Zalaria School, the Dathersport Nursing Academy, known as Zalaria. When you guys show up, there is a head nurse that sits there and looks at you, and she recognizes you from the statue, and she goes, "Honored guest, please, by all means, welcome to School Zalaria, Dathersport House of Nursing."
I feel like it needs a different name, but I'll probably figure that out later.
She says, "By all means, please let me show you around."
One moment. She's gonna go to the statue of herself, and she'll kind of look at it. She'll be like, I really don't deserve my own statue. She'll use the spell Meld Stone and turn it into Bonham.
Aww.
And she'll
Turn
kind of
it-
step back, nod, be like, much better. She'll be like, all right, a tour. Let's go.
Okay. The school can boast some amazing things, including some of the professors look like they're absolutely 100% they're taking their time with the students. They're learning in a very good amount in a very short amount of time because these professors are very much top notch. you go through the school and you see that there are people who are, they have like the overarching classroom that looks over actual surgery being performed. And they'll be talking about how this person could not afford the surgery, but because of the nursing school, it's a learning opportunity. So they can afford to spend the medical supplies to do it because it's such an opportunity to teach. This particular surgery will give this woman the chance to see again. She will no longer be blind. There is some magic that is being cast occasionally in certain schools. It does, however, look like it is priestly magic, specifically, and bent towards Lucentarius. And the head professor there looks to be an elf with some
I'm gonna
accommodations.
notice all of this and be like, somebody here can help me. I still don't know who I am. Maybe somebody here can help me. I need to speak to a priest privately.
Yes, actually, this class we're observing now, 1 second, she'll walk over and he'll be talking to his class and he's saying some things and he stops for a second, listens to her, and he says, he takes a small little gavel without the handle and he'll say, class dismissed, and he'll tap it, and people tap on the table as like an applause as they leave. And he's sitting there and he looks over at you and tilts his head. I was told that you needed the expertise of a priest of Lucentarius.
I do.
Is he talking to us as a group or just Haley?
Just Haley.
Yeah, I said I needed to speak to somebody privately. Know who he is just from looking at him. Would I recognize him?
No.
It's just a person of Davenport. No?
Well, that's true. You do know Davenport. Let's double check. The height of entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. The DM will.
It's better than us having technical difficulties and starting half an hour late.
No shit. It's
or
very
just
true.
disappearing.
His name is Valefor. You know him as a disgraced cleric, usually a drunk, but apparently very sober.
I could do like a perception check.
No, I'll give it to you. You have a high enough investigation. There's no need to roll dice on that.
Okay. I'll say, I'm sure you know of me, but I'm not who you remember me to be before. I'm Haley Stonescar of the Godslayers.
He looks you up and down and takes his glasses and pushes them up a little bit.
I was recently on an adventure, on a quest. Ended up not going so well for me. I had to be reincarnated, and I did not have the presence of Phoenix Stone at the time. So I'll show him my scar. I do, however, have a Phoenix Stone now. Is there any way that you might be able to help? I have gold. I just don't want my friends to get hurt.
He says, I understand. Your gold would be better served as a donation to this wonderful, wonderful school. I'll take care of you.
What do I need to do?
Well, first things first. When was the last time you bathed?
I had a bath last night. We just got back, but I'm not a heathen.
This is okay. Do you have the time now? I take it this is urgent.
I mean, I have the time. I would like to spend some time outside.
Of course, the day of light. What a better day to receive Lucentarius' love, the day that he gives us his love of his free will. Then let's we can go ahead and start now. Have you given your praise and worship to Lucentarius?
I'm not a religious person per se. I'm knowledgeable about many religions, not just.
Well, if you're not a follower of his love, you may not accept it. Then he may not accept you back. You realize that.
Open to things.
He says, okay, lay right here on this stone slab.
Okay.
Maybe invite your friends in as witness.
I mean, but as I'm lying down, I'll say, "Can you ask my friends to come?"
Absolutely. He comes
I would
out.
really like to make sure that this could be
You're
a
one of
very
his
bad
witnesses?
idea if this doesn't work. Because it's the same room.
So as you all gather around, you'll
I'll
notice that
explain what's going on. He's willing to help me. I'll let them choose if they would like to be in the room with me because I wanted to do this just in case something went wrong.
I will observe.
Zeliria's in there as soon as he's like, "You're wanted as witnesses." She's like, "Cool," and just kind of goes in.
I'll lay down.
he will turn a couple levers that will turn a stone dais that will let the sunlight directly in and shine down on you. And he will go through a set of prayers in High Elf, which will be very hard to understand, kind of like if someone was speaking Latin.
Mm-hmm.
Roughly make out everything, but it's not common as you know it, the modern and Elvish. As he goes through speaking High Elf, a brief second will be where you'll see a couple people walk in, a couple elves will walk in with their full-on battle armor, and they'll kind of go in and interrupt. What is the meaning of this? And the professor will stop and he says, this child was absent of a phoenix stone that she's obtained, and she's looking to pay Lucentarius back for the life that she's given. And they say, well, that's absolutely great, Professor, but you know the rules. She should be asked about where she received this phoenix stone before she gets this blessing. The professor looks at them for a brief second, looks at you all.
We got it from a genie.
The head officer leans on his spear a little bit. A genie, you say?
A genie who granted us a wish.
He looks at the priest, and the priest nods and will cast Stone of Truth. A genie, you say?
Yeah, a blue one. He came out of a town.
That I had.
He actually used to be a friend of ours.
I have heard of these Godslayers before, Professor. You best not mingle with them too much. Good luck with your ritual, but I'm sure Lucentarius won't accept it. And they will leave.
Zeliria's gonna call after them. She's like, I have faith he will.
The professor says, well, we should continue. And he will sit there and make the prayers, and suddenly, in a flash, Haley will be sitting there staring at the light, and everything's so bright around you. Open your eyes, you're looking out into a vast nothingness of stars. Behind you, the sun's warmth is all but burning your body or soul or whatever part of you is here. You hear a voice behind you that says, child, you are not of my kind. I know how you obtained the stone, and I know that you resurrected the land. Yet you come here asking me, on the day that I give you all the gifts for even, I understand that it is your kind to be greedy, but indulge me. Why would you ask more this day? You are also muted right now. I can't hear you.
I'm not muted. I just need to speak better.
I hear you now. I'm sorry. Divine hearing aids. Tell me now why.
Obviously, as you know, I've just recently obtained this stone. I want to make sure that my friends are not harmed in any kind of way. Therefore, I wanted to make sure that I got this taken care of as quickly as possible. I did not want to risk the chance of you harming my friends on this day. This day that you do give us the light to be able to sustain ourselves for the year. I wanted to clear my friend's name. I know what we did was wrong. I don't want them to be punished for anything.
Fearing the rod. Is that it? Say it again.
I said I don't want my friends punished for trying to save my life. Or for saving my life. I feel like they've done good, and they're meant to do good.
Indeed. They're very powerful, like you. Very. You're so business about this. Faith obviously has no bearing. Yet you stand in the brief presence of a divine being.
Maybe this presence can change things. I've never been a very religious person my entire life. I've known of many gods. Never to worship anybody.
But still you come asking for gifts.
I'm saying that I'm open to a change to clear my friend's name.
I certainly don't demand worship. I've already put out pretty plain what happens when someone doesn't worship me. They're denied my gifts. But you have always shown this petulant nature, this indomitable spirit is a better way to say it. I will help you. That which asks so much of me, because you have the demeanor of a queen that demands something. You have the soul of the kind that I create, not the soul of being meant to. Haley, I will help, and I will show you that your soul is indeed indomitable. And I will give you even more gifts, because I am an ever-giving. Enjoy the spoil, demanding nature, and make me proud. There are always more gifts from me. You don't want to live in the shadow. And there will be a huge flash of light. Everyone can't see it all. Lily's just going as the Phoenix Stones just shatters and just crumbles all the way down her chest. Her scar just lifting and falling off like rocks, even though its skin just like ashes, just tumbling down her body. The light comes too much to where you guys can't see her. And then as the light comes in ever so brightly and stops, you see a person sitting there, blown all of her clothes off, because we're going to have one of those moments. All of her gear scattered to the side as she's sitting there, and you guys can barely see as you hold your hand up, and she's so bright. And when you guys can finally catch a little glimpse of her, you look as Haley seems just a little bit shorter, and her ears just a little bit long, as Haley is now an elf.
What? What? What?
Gotta pay Lucentarius somewhere.
Yep.
And the stone was payment. That brought you an audience with him, but it is literally very much Haley to act as the way you did, and I see that as being his way to do it.
I literally worded everything to be like, I don't care what happens to me. Just clear my friends' names.
And that gall, that nobility, he feels like that would be a gift to give you. So this is, I don't want you to feel like this is a punishment.
No, elves have some pretty good shit.
And when it comes to magic, it's actually really good. But it would be, that would be the way that this god acts. And that is a gift from that god. Very similar to if you watch Legend and Tim Curry's devil character rewards the guy by giving him a claw hand. He's like, oh yeah, I have a claw hand. It's like, oh no, you're handicapped. Like, that's terrible. No, it's a gift from my god. Like, very similar kind of behavior. This god sees that as being a true gift to your endowment.
I thought for sure you were gonna make me take start taking levels in cleric or something.
No, I don't push religion in my games or out of my games. Like, that's not how it works.
Or warlock.
No,
I was thinking
that's not how
warlock.
it is at all. But he definitely would see giving you a gift beyond, because you were basically badass enough to be like, fuck what you can do to me, asshole. Just clear my friend's name. I got the stone. What's up? And he's like, hey, you got stones? All right, cool. You're actually a lot more badass than I thought. So even though it may not necessarily be or as we see it, it's what that god would do. So it's how that god acted.
Okay.
That's the Phoenix Stone for you, kids.
Yay! I'm
It's
not winning
only-
anymore.
This is roughly the 1 year anniversary of us playing all together again. By the way, so I figured
Is
daylight
it?
would be good. Based on my calculations, I could be off. It's not like a recording. It's not the year since we played 5th edition. That's in 3 more
It
months.
is about the same time.
It's getting close.
When we
But,
started in the garage.
No, when we started it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Then you go to-
definitely an interesting turn of events.
It is very much.
So-
Let's take a tour of the rest of this place now that I look like a complete. Or can I get some clothes?
Valeria will go grab her clothes and give them to Haley. Hold on. Is her hair and stuff the same? Or is like she completely different?
She's now an elf, and she may choose any hairstyle, style, or look that an elf does.
She probably looks the same, just elf. You know, same features, just elf.
Haley changes spotties like other people change clothes.
Apparently.
So wait, are you back to your original self or reincarnated self, elf?
No, I'm like reincarnated again.
But like,
Reincarn-
do you have the red hair that you did originally, or do you
I
have
would
the
say
black
that I
hair
went
that
back
you
to-
reincarnated into?
I think that I went back. I'll go back to the red hair because I really
Okay.
liked my red hair, my red curly hair. So I'll go back to that. Just elf. I mean, hair's
So,
easy to change.
Before reincarnated Haley, just elf.
Yeah, before reincarnated Haley plus elf.
I mean, I would
equals my
imagine
brain
because
hurts.
different facial features being an elf now.
Yeah, you're
Right.
shorter. You have more of a slant to your eyes. You have pointier ears. You know, my world, it's not quite World of Warcraft, but it's also a little bit longer than standard D&D.
Hair is easy enough to change that I.
Just put tips on the ears of your mom. You can glue those.
She looks elf enough. No, she doesn't.
So, yeah.
Real quick, hold on. In chat, we have Ryan who says confirmed Haley is a body snatcher. And then Stark says some people get a new hairstyle. Haley gets a new body.
Very true, guys. Very true.
Ryan also says time for a new character model and gonna need new dice too.
Oh, yeah, new dice.
All of the above.
So, yeah, actually, to tell you guys the honest truth, as much as I'd like to keep going on this, I do think that's actually a really good time to stop the game. As Haley gets this and gets clothed, and you guys are ready to check out. But looking over at Haley as an important divine event has happened.
Solaria's
this would
gonna
be a
hug
good time.
Haley.
Aw.
Or Solaria too. I'll be like,
And
We'll talk
as
later.
as you two are hugging, I'm just gonna like pick you both up off the ground and hugging you.
I'll give you
Aw.
guys details later, but
Agata, get in on this group hug.
All right.
So as the Godslayers embrace each other and the new beginning that is a reincarnation without worry, the scene will pan out to look at the rest of the town. As you guys see, there is a set of protesters getting absolutely waylaid for their beliefs, as the screen will go and turn completely dark. And we'll see where we pick up next week.
All right. Good game, everybody. Good game, Zach.
Good game, everybody.
again,
Good game.
follow us on Diamonds and Dice on Facebook. We had some technical issues this time, but I still posted the stream. You should still be able to find it there.
Yeah, sorry about stream being late. My computer decided it just wasn't going to download things that it really needed to. We are now up to 3 episodes that have to be on YouTube. 2 of them are done and edited and just need to export. But despite being given 2 days to export, they don't want to export. So eventually that'll happen. All of our info is actually just down below if you want to check it out. We would greatly appreciate that. And then I think I'm going to stream sometime this week on Madly Unique. I don't know. We'll see.
You should. You're quarantined. What else you got?
I've been making dice.
I see.
Bring it back.
Also, not to bring it back to the game real quick because we're out of the game and everything, but while Zolaria is hugging everybody watch out because she might try to marry you next now that she's hugged you. Troll.
Also, Mandy, with all the free time we've had of the last month, you'd better have a absolutely rockin' cosplay next con.
Oh, you have no idea. Hold on.
Are we still live?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm still alive. Here's my candy. And she's gone.
This is the fabric for my new dress for Hella.
Hmm.
Oh, I see the fabric. I don't see any sewing going.
It's been cut out, okay? This is what we did today. And it was
Do you
very
remem-
hard because my mom had to help me. Hold on, let's say bye to stream real quick. Bye,
Bye!
stream!
Thanks for
Bye,
this.
stream.